Okay, so today we will discuss argumentative and descriptive prompts. And इसको डिस्कस करने से पहले ये अगेन हम जान लेते हैं कि ग्रामर जरूरी क्यों है। क्योंकि ये ऐसा टूल है हमारे पास ग्रामर, जिसकी मदद से हम क्या कर सकते हैं, एक सेंटेंस को बिल्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंटेंस, लाइक उसमें एरर नहीं होंगे, वो ग्रामेटिकली ठीक होगा अगर हमें बेसिक ग्रामर पता हो। नेक्स्ट, कनेक्ट आइडियाज लॉजिकली। जो हमारे पास एक सेंटेंस में डिफरेंट आइडियाज होंगे, ठीक है, हम उनको लॉजिकली कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं इन वेरियस फॉर्म, चाहे वो कंपाउंड सेंटेंसेस हो या कॉम्प्लेक्स कंपाउंड या कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस, हम उसमें वो लॉजिकली कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं। थर्ड वन, कम्युनिकेट आइडियाज इन अ पावरफुल वे। हमारे जो आइडियाज है, अगर हमारी ग्रामर ठीक होगी, सेंटेंसेस लॉजिकली करेक्ट होंगे, तो इट मीन्स कि हम हमारा जो आइडिया है, ठीक है, हम उन्हें कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं विद अ स्ट्रॉन्ग वे। Grammar is not just a rule, it is a tool that helps us to express our thoughts effectively. So, हमारे पास आइलेट्स में, डीईटी में मुख्तलिफ किस्म के प्रॉम्प्ट होते हैं। उन्हीं में से एक है आर्गुमेंटेटिव प्रॉम्प्ट्स। सो ये होता क्या है, इन आर्गुमेंटेटिव प्रॉम्प्ट्स आस्क यू, गिव योर ओपिनियन, support it with a reason and example, show logical thinking. Like ये निकला हुआ है, ठीक है, आर्गुमेंट से। हम अपनी ओपिनियन पेश कर सकते हैं एक चीज़ के बारे में, ख्वाह वो दूसरों के ओपिनियन से इख्तलाफ भी कर सकती है, बट ये है कि हम अपना ओपिनियन पेश करेंगे, गिव योर ओपिनियन। फिर उसी ओपिनियन को हम क्या करेंगे, सपोर्ट करेंगे विद रीजन एंड एग्जाम्पल। थर्ड वन, जो थर्ड स्टेप है, शो लॉजिकल थिंकिंग। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, चलिए वो बाद में कर लेते हैं फिर। यू हैव टू टेक अ पोजिशन, लाइक एक प्रॉब्लम है हमारे पास, ठीक है, कि यंग एज में स्टूडेंट्स को मोबाइल देना चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए। अब इससे आप एग्री भी कर सकते हैं एंड आप डिसएग्री भी कर सकते हैं। अगर आप एग्री करेंगे तो आप अपना ओपिनियन तो आपने पेश कर दिया, सही है। फिर उसी ओपिनियन को आप रीजंस, कि आप ये ओपिनियन क्यों सपोर्ट करते हैं, आप उसको सपोर्ट करेंगे रीजन से एंड एग्जाम्पल से। वो दोनों केसेस में होती है। जो हमारे पास कीवर्ड्स यूज होती है आर्गुमेंटेटिव टॉपिक्स में, लाइक डू यू एग्री और डिसएग्री, शुड, इज इट बेटर टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट, लाइक यहाँ पे आप किस हद तक एग्री करते हो, डिसएग्री करते हो। जो सेकंड प्रॉम्प्ट है हमारे पास, वो है डिस्क्रिप्टिव प्रॉम्प्ट्स। A descriptive prompts ask you to describe a person, place, situation, or event. Create a picture in the reader mind. Use rich vocabulary and sensory details. अच्छा, डिस्क्रिप्ट में ये होता है, ठीक है, लाइक आपने कहाँ पे विजिट किया, तो आप उस जगह की एक पिक्चर अपने वर्ड्स में शो करना चाह रहे हो, तो वो डिस्क्रिप्टिव में आता है। लाइक ये किन किन एरियाज को इफेक्ट करता है, अगर हम इट फोकस ऑन हाउ समथिंग लुक, एक चीज किस तरह दिखती है। साउंड्स, अब हम उनको इस तरह से डिस्क्राइब करेंगे डिस्क्रिप्टिव में, ताकि वो हमारे जहन में एक इमेजिनरी शक्ल बन जाए। हाउ समथिंग लुक लाइक, साउंड्स, फील, स्मेल और टेस्ट।
आई थिंक सर के पास इंटरनेट इश्यू हो गया, तो मे बी वो लेफ्ट कर गए होंगे या फिर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए होंगे। तो सर जनरल आब्दीन, कैन यू स्टार्ट? मैंने मोबाइल से ज्वाइन किया हुआ है, तो मैं स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं कर सकता। सर जनरल आब्दीन, आप हमारे साथ हैं?
चलिए वही से रिज्यूम करते हैं। सिंपल सेंटेंस, इसमें हमारे पास आइडियाज एक होता है, लाइक एक सिंपल सेंटेंस होता है, लाइक स्टूडेंट्स लर्न ग्रामर इन स्कूल, जो कंपाउंड्स
Okay, we will start now. If I think Sir Baktullah have internet issue, so I'm going to share the screen and continue. If Sir will join, then we will continue the again same topic. Let's start. Okay, I will go with this topic and then Sir Baktullah will join. He will continue the same topic. So conjunction, coordination, and subordination. Coordination conjunctions. One, coordinate conjunctions allows for the creation of compound sentence by joining two independent clauses together. According to conjunctions are for and nor but or yet and so. They can be remembered by the acronymous fanboys. A few things to remember about the compound sentence format with the coordinate, coordinating conjunctions. Independent clauses are often called complete sentence. They have clear subject, noun, engaging, and a clear action verb. So what does the mean by independent clause? The sentence which is complete and they have clear subject, that is noun or pronoun, and clear object uh, with verb means doing something. When joining two independent clauses within a coordinating conjunction, it is necessary to use comma before the conjunction. So now, if you are using or combining two independent clauses, now you have to use comma in between the two sentences. Coordinating conjunctions are helpful because they connect related ideas to make writing less choppy. Okay. Compound sentences are useful for the same reasons. They also provide sentence variety and allow you to start independent clause with and a grammar rule that is otherwise forward upon. So independent clause or coordinated conjunction will help us to make our sentence complex and connect ideas. Okay, so connect related ideas and help the sentence to make it reachable complex. Some of independent clauses become compound sentences. Two independent clauses. Many aliens Wesleyan students visit writing center. Most Indians and Wesleyan students get good grades. So this is two independent clauses. First one sentence, if we see that which completes at writing center. Many Elonius Wesleyan students visit the writing center and first clause is completed here. Second clause is most Alliance and Western studies students get good grades. That's it. And if we see their compound sentence, so it become like Many Wesleyan students visit the writing center, so most Wesleyan students get good grades. The here we used so, that's why it become compound sentence. So this is how you can make a compound sentence. Now see another example. I like to write. The tutors like to help me with my writing. If now we can see their compound sentence, I like to write and the tutors like to help me with my writing. Okay, so very simple and just we have to use fanboys and what are the fanboys? For and nor but or yet and so. These are the fanboys to make compound sentence. Many writers procrastinate on their papers. The writing center could help them to stop. Now you can see here two independent clauses. They are not connected, but when we use uh, coordinated conjunction, which is fanboys, for and or not, it become connected and ideas become connected of the sentences. And sentence become compound sentence. Many writers procrastinate on their papers, yet the writing center would help them to stop. So now you can see how it become connected with another sentence. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions have two functions. Repeat this rhyme to yourself to remember it. Firstly, they are used to subordinate one independent clause to another, making it dependent. Secondly, uh, first we read, then we try to understand what actually it means. Subordinate conjunction links an independent and dependent clause together. Since complex sentence is composed of independent clause and dependent clause, subordinate conjunctions are crucial in writing complex sentences. Okay, now we will understand. First, they are used to subordinate one independent clause to another, making it dependent. Now, as we see that if we talk about independent clause and we read their examples, their sentences are not connected. If we complete one sentence, like I'm giving example here. My friend don't go to the writing center. I do for every paper. Now you see the first sentence don't have connection with another sentence. So this is called independent clause. Okay. So secondly, subordinate conjunction links an independent and dependent clauses together. Now, when we use yet fanboys, make it complex sentence or dependent sentence. Then now, if we are talking about subordinate conjunctions with an independent and dependent clause together. Since complex sentence is composed of an independent clause and dependent clause, subordinate conjunctions are crucial in writing complex sentence. Okay, so complex sentence contain both type of the sentence, dependent and independent clause. and subordinate to help us to write complex sentences. Now, what are the subordinating conjunctions? The subordinate conjunctions are after, although, as, if, because, before, even, if, even, though, if only, rather than, since, that, though, unless, until, when, where, whereas, wherever, whether ever, which, and while. A few things to remember about complex sentence without subordinate conjunctions. A dependent clause is clause that cannot stand alone. It must be connected to an independent clause. The dependent clause can be placed either before or after the independent clause, but when placed first, a comma must be added after the dependent clause. So, what we here understand, dependent clause can be placed either before or after the independent clause. So the thing is that the dependent clause maybe it come first or it come last in the sentence. But when placed first, comma must be added after the dependent clause. So if we are then using comma, we have to use the comma after the dependent clause. Okay. Complex sentences are useful for providing extra detail to an independent clause, while also providing sentence variety. No one wants to read a paper with only complex sentences, just as no one wants to read a paper with only compound ones. Some examples of independent clause become complex sentences. Let's see again. Many Indians and Westland students visit the writing center. Most Indians and Westland students get good grades because many Indians and now these are the two independent clauses, which means first sentence does not depend on another sentence. Then we using coordinated conjunction and making it complex. So let's see the example. Because many Indians and Westland students visit the writing center, most Indians and Westland students get good grades. All right. I like to write. Let's see another example. I like to write. The tutors like to help me with my writing. The tutors like to help me with my writing since I like to write. Now you can see how sentence is connected and making sense. Many writers procrastinate on their papers. The writing center could help them to stop. Many writers procrastinate on their papers even if the writing center could help them to stop. So here you see the usage of different coordinate conjunctions and how they become complex sentences and become connected with each other. So first one is because, then since, and although, and even if. Note that, note that the underlined segments above can no longer stand alone. The addition of the subordinate conjunction because, since, although, and even have turned them into a dependent clause. These clauses now only make sense within the context of independent clause. So if we are using subordinate conjunctions, then sentence become independent clause, and the first sentence depend on the other sentence. So here you see that how a comma is used after the uh, first sentence, first independent clause. So this is how we can make a complex sentence and what are the subordinating conjunctions that you can use to make a sentence more complex. We will see another example or slide that is more help us how the actually detail, little bit detail. Okay, coordinating and subordination. Coordination and subordination are important concepts to understand because they allow a writer either to connect two independent clauses or concise writing, or separate two independent clauses and create a dependent clause in order to provide cause and effect between two ideas. Now, as we see that we are talking about independent clause, and they are not, uh, once we read them, they are not connected. So the subcoordination and subordination gives us opportunity to connect them and make uh, ideas or write it effective way. So what does coordination? Uses coordinating conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs with appropriate punctuation or punctuation to combine short independent clauses into a sentence. Coordinating implies the balance of the elements that are equal semantic value in the. So if we are talking about the conjunctions use coordination. So it uses coordination conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs with appropriate punctuations or punctuation to combine short independent clauses in a single sentence. So let's see the coordinate conjunctions. As we already read them, the acronym you have to remember, which is fanboys, and what they are, what it means, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. Each conjunction implies a slightly different meaning than the other. So it is important to choose the appropriate word for the relationship between the ideas being connected. Okay, so when we have to use any word or any coordinating conjunctions, they have uh, different meaning. So we have to have to know about or have idea about their usage, where we can use for and nor, but, or yet, and so. So if we use them wrong, it again makes the sentence difficult to understand and grammatically wrong. So we have to use them properly. Conjunctive adverbs are also used to show sequence, contrast, cause, and affect, and other relationships. Some conjunctive adverbs. So conjunctive verbs help you to show sequence in the sentence, make contrast in the sentence, and give you cause and effect in the sentence or other relationships sometimes. Some conjunctive adverbs are, however, accordingly, furthermore, also, etc. These are the examples of conjunctive adverbs and how we can use them, we will see in the next example. In most cases, a semicolon is needed to connect two clauses with conjunctive adverbs. So when we are using conjuncting conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs, coordinating conjunctions are conjunctive adverbs. So we have to use comma with them. Example, football game has been postponed. We will have to do something else. Two simple sentences with no coordination or subordination, but note how to coordination occurs below. Now you see that two independent clauses or sentences, which are the football game has been postponed. We will have to do something else. Now, independent clause, football game has been postponed. The game is overall, this is independent clause, and game is subject, has been postponed is verb. Action, what action is done. Then we are using here coordinating conjunction, which is so, and we will have to do something else. It help us to connect two ideas and are connect two sentences. It gives good meaning or makes sentence more clear. So coordinating conjunction, how it helps. Now see another example. Um, the football game is postponed, subject verb same, and now semicolon used for coordination. So sometimes we only use semicolon to make sentence connected or connect sentences. So you see how it, once we understand if a semicolon is used here, which means the sentences is connected to other, their consequences or result. Subordination use subordinating conjunctions or relative pronouns to transfer independent clauses and clauses or ideas into dependent clauses. Now, if anyone have confusion regarding dependent or independent clauses, you can ask. Otherwise, we will continue. So feel free to ask any question. If you have question, you can ask. So I hope the dependent and independent clause is clear. Now it's can deal with the dependent and independent clause and use of the coordination and subordination. Subordinate clauses are ideas. Subordinate clauses are subordinate to and thus hold less semantic value than the independent clause as clauses to which they are linked. Example, football game has been postponed. We will have to do something else. Two simple sentences with no coordination or subordination, but now note how subordination occurs below. Because the football game has been postponed, Again, here is use of the because subordinate conjunction. So then one sentence is completed, comma with comma, and we will have to do something like so. Dependent clause and independent clause. The dependent clause is the because the football game has been postponed, which is dependent on we will have to do something else and dependent clause. Example, the lab results confirm our diagnosis. They have been sent to the attending physician. Two simple sentence with no coordination or subordination, but note how subordinating occurs below. The lab results that confirms our diagnosis have been sent to the attending physician. Now, independent clauses. First, we see this that which is preposition, relative pronoun. Yes, not preposition, but relative pronoun. After the results mean subject, we see that that confirm our diagnosis, relative pronoun. Then verb, confirm verb, and this pair of the sentence relative dot clause and dependent clause. Okay, so the lab results dependent on the attending physicians. Okay, the relative pronoun that turns the verb confirms into a verb in a depending relative clause instead of the verb of an independent clause. So in today's topic, unfortunately, Sir Bakht have internet connection disruption and he got disconnected several times. That's why we have to start coordination and subordinations. So we have covered the this topic very detailed with examples and usage. So I think our class time is almost done. And in the meantime, if anyone have any kind of suggestions, you can ask, or any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we will end this session. So thank you for joining. Uh, Allah Hafiz. See you tomorrow. But here is another detailed PDF that I will share with you if you ask me at the Slack channel. I will share with you and with this video. So thank you for joining. If anyone have question, you can ask us from at Slack channel or tomorrow's next meeting. So thank you. Allah Hafiz.